You know, it's talking about being triggered. I got triggered yesterday. I'm not gonna lie, even the OE zombie collector extraordinaire can be triggered. And I did a live stream about this yesterday, but I thought it was worth maybe having a little bit more dialogue in the comment section for people who might want to chit chat about it. So a couple days ago, the ever woke Dusty Baker was interviewed and said that Major League Baseball is on a dangerous path. And you might be thinking, oh, what perils are before us on this dangerous path? Oh, why is Dusty Baker? I mean, you are a soothsayer. You know all, and you definitely are going to be able to give us the 411 on this dangerous path that the Major League Baseball is on. So I was waiting on bated breath as I read this article. And as I read through the article, it came to my attention that what he's saying is that Major League Baseball is on a dangerous path because they don't have any black managers. And that's when I realized I was stuck in a time loop from like maybe the 70s and 80s. And I was like, what are we talking about here, Dusty? I think we all agree if you own a business, you want the best qualified person, regardless of color, to be the person who's running your team. And then on top of that, I'm so emotional here, I'm losing my voice. On top of that, baseball is probably the most diverse sport in the free world. I mean, where else can you go on almost any team, literally, and find white players, black players, Latino players, Asian players? You know, I don't think you can go almost any team, any other sport, and have that same experience. I really don't. Hockey for sure, no. Golf, it's not a team sport, so I mean, golf has that, but you know, tennis to a lesser degree has some of that. Football and basketball, absolutely not. There's probably hardly any true Latinos and Asians from those countries on football and basketball teams. For sure. And if there is, it's a very, very small amount of people. And playing at a professional level, I should say. So, I think, if I'm not mistaken, if you're a multi-million-dollar business, you're going to put your best possible front office, managerial staff, teams, players on the field, the best doctors, the best, you know, everything. What is it? The best, physical therapist, there's the word I was looking for, everything. You want the best of everything. The best number crunchers for sabermetrics, whatever. You don't care about what color they are. I can't even imagine in the world we live in today, especially in professional sports, that you have like a quote unquote gentleman's agreement that they used to have back in the day, you know, back during the Jackie Robinson days, and obviously way before, where they were purposely like, you know, blockading people of color get into the sport. I mean, it's not happening, dude. I mean, you got Dave Roberts, who's an awful manager, who manages the Dodgers, who can't even get all the way to the dance and can't close it out. He sucks. He doesn't know what he's doing, but they keep him on there. Carlos Beltran just got hired as a Mets manager. I know he's not black, but I mean, he's not a white guy. He's a Latino. You know, I know, Washington used to be the manager for, you know, the whatever you call it, the Rangers. But I mean, here's the thing: you want a guy who has a proven track record as a manager, or somebody who maybe doesn't have a proven track record, but you want to give them a shot because, you know, they haven't had an opportunity yet. Dusty Baker, you've had multiple opportunities, and guess what? You're like Davey Roberts. You can't close the deal. You were the Reds, and you sucked as a Reds manager. You didn't do squat. Weren't you the Cubs manager too? Didn't do anything there. Weren't you a Giants manager there? And you got to the World Series with them, and then you didn't get the job done with your godson or whoever, Barry Lamont Bonds. Weren't you the Nationals manager too? Didn't make it happen there. I mean, dude, like seriously, you were the manager for like 4 or 5 teams I can think off the top of my head, and you couldn't close the deal on any World Series, and I would say very few playoff bursts at all. It'd be different if it was like somebody who actually has a proven track record, regardless of race, saying that they're not getting a fair shake. That is ridiculous. Well, if you're going to say that, well, I want more white players in the NFL and more white players in NBA, because they're definitely not represented if we're going to do this. I mean, you can go onto a field or onto a court and scant see a white face on the field or on the court compared to everybody else. Maybe the quarterback's white. You might have like a super tall center on the court from another country that's white. And that's about the extent of it, man. And I mean, like, do I actually think those things? Of course not. I think that the team should bring out the best players, regardless of their race, and let them play. If they're the best player and they're flipping from Japan, they're 4'11", and they're the best player as whatever their position is, they should be on the court playing basketball. You know, whatever. That was probably ridiculous there, but you know, you get my point. I could care less. If the guy knows what he's doing, then bring him on. It just makes my mind twirl and my blood boil when I hear people make these kind of statements like this. It's just ludicrous. It's always looking for that boogeyman hiding in the closet or under your bed, like, oh, there's racism around the corner everywhere I look, and it's so racist. I mean, unless you have proof that Major League Baseball and the ownership and blah, blah, blah is purposely blockading black managers, it just sounds like you're just pissing in the wind and just, you know, whining and complaining for no reason other than just to hear yourself and to be trying to be woke. It's like when Adam Jones, who played baseball for 12 seasons, 13 seasons, said that one time at one game somewhere that he had a fan scream a racial slur at him or something. I'm like, dude, you play 162 games a year. Times that by 12 seasons or however many seasons you've been playing, and you had one moron, and there's no excuse for that. He should definitely have been bounced or kicked out of the stadium and maybe banned or whatever. But, you know, that's not what I'm talking about. But you're talking about sitting in front of probably hundreds of thousands of fans in the course of your life, maybe 1 million fans over the course of your career, and you're talking about one time that you had something bad happen to you involving race. One guy saying one thing. You know, last year we had Tim Anderson for the White Sox literally call a white pitcher the N-word, and he got a 1-game suspension. That's it. Because apparently if you're black, you can go around calling anybody you want the N-word, and it's just a slap on the wrist. And then then people actually said that was awful that he got even a suspended 1 game, that he should have got suspended at all. Which shows you how backwards this world we live in is that you can go in anger and being upset and whatnot and call somebody the N-word and be black and do it, and then an altercation on top of it and get a 1-game suspension. But if a white guy or whatever the color of the guy is referenced a black ball player like that, they would be, first of all, fined. Second, they would lose their job. Third, they'd be banned from baseball. Fourth, they might end up having some kind of charges brought against them for crying out loud. It's a hate crime. You don't even know what could have happened. So, I mean, it's mind-boggling that you have somebody like Dusty Baker out there, you know, screaming out into the wilderness saying there's the boogeyman when there's nothing to show that what he says has any proof. Maybe there ain't a lot of black managers that are trying out for positions. Have you thought about that? How many black managers are attempting to receive contracts from ball clubs? What does that statistic look like? Or any person of color? So let's look at that statistic first. So if you have 60, I mean, that's way too big of a number. Let's say you have 20 managers that are trying to look for jobs, and 3 of them or 2 of them are black, do you hire the black guy just because he's black? No, you hire who's the best. And if the black guy's the best guy, or the Latino guy, or the Asian guy, then you hire that guy. I know that the Seattle Mariners had a Japanese American as their coach. I think his last name was Wakamatsu for a while as well. There's all kinds. I mean, it's mind-boggling. Like, who sits around and just says, there's racism everywhere I look when we're talking about professional sports, when you darn well know that they're probably the most woke businesses in the world, and definitely don't want anything to come back and makes them look like they're any kind of hate-mongering organization with the way things are nowadays. Absolutely not. So it's just either the candidates are not even applying for the position, or they're just not qualified over another person. Or they're going to give somebody who's never had a proven track record a shot. And maybe they suck, and maybe the Dusty Bakers of the world are a much better manager, and then that'd be another argument. That'd be for another conversation that he should get bounced and then put Dusty Baker in that position, because if Dusty Baker has a better track record, then give him a shot. But guys, that's my 2 cents, my $0.02. I don't know if this is going to be a trigger type thing. I don't know if people are going to agree with me or disagree with me. I really don't care. I just like to have the conversation. I enjoy the back and forth, but I also like just to kind of put things out there and just kind of like keep people in the forefront of what's going on sometimes. You have a passion about the stuff that you love and you want to protect it. I love baseball. I want to protect it from ridiculousness. I'm the first one to admit, if I saw any injustices going on the field of any kind, I'm going to take care of it. I want to say what I can say. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm a nobody, but I would definitely try to shine some light onto it. And, but when also it's ridiculous, like Dusty Baker's accusation that we're on a very dangerous path. That was like his literal quote. And then there's no substance behind it. It just is a personal opinion. Well, we all have personal opinions, but we all have buttholes too. That doesn't make you special just because you have an opinion. Just because your name is Dusty Baker doesn't mean your opinion holds any more water than mine. Especially when it's ludicrous like what you're saying. So anyways, guys, just remember, I think you're great. And make sure you like and subscribe, because that's what I'm all about. I need this view, so make sure you share this with everybody. Your postman, the milkman, the guy that brings you ice to your house. The firefighters that come and get the cat out of the tree, share it with them too.